Hello, lovely people. New adventure unlocked. I'm headed to the next game. My mama's here. We're going to Aqua Zumba. I am getting out of my comfort zone. I am trying fencing today. I'm just there for the vibes. I know nothing about baseball. I'm there for the vibes. Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Divorce Sisters, season 1, episode 3, Hush Tones. I am not feeling my best today. I'm feeling under the weather, but I'm going to try my best to review this show. This episode was really good. So we start off with Javon and Geneva, and Javon is like, is she mine? And of course, Geneva's like, what? Of course not. Now, I cackled when Javon was like, we talked about having a baby and naming her Anika. What the F? I had to rewind that scene lots of times because I was cracking up. I feel so bad for William because if it turns out that Anika is not William, that is going to destroy that man. So I pray this is not true because apparently they were doing IVF. So anyway, so William comes back just a happy-go-lucky and is like, oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. Now, we go over to Rashida and I keep want to call him Devon, but Jefferson, Pastor Jefferson. They're in the car and Rashida's like, hey, did you mean what you said? He's like, did I mean what? She's like, did you mean it when you said you love me? He said, yes, Rashida. And she's like, well, why don't you say it to me? He goes, I tell you I love you every Sunday. Now, Negro, you know what she's talking about. And she says, you do it in front of the congregation so you can look like a devoted husband. Now, telling your wife you love her in front of the congregation and actually saying it to her is a different thing. So I don't like when he said that. Okay. So, and it seemed like, and this was really offensive. He said to her, oh, you've changed a lot. What is it? Is it menopause? I said, now, I know this man did not say menopause. That is gaslighting at its finest. She was like, well, if you love me, we will be having sex. Okay, so they're not even having sex? Okay, so definitely something is wrong for sure. Then he goes to tell her, I gave you a good life. What more do you want? All the girls want to be like you. Don't you see how the girls look at you? And she's like, I do. I see it. And that's why I did what I did to protect us, meaning the cameras, installing the cameras outside the office. And then we find out, Rashida goes, I don't forget anything. Did you forget that it was my grandfather's dowry that started this church? So basically, the church is really Rashida's, if we really want to be clear about it. It's her family that gave them the money to start the church. So she really is not even being appreciative of that fact. Now, it did seem like she was throwing it in his face, though. So I could see why he could feel a certain way about it. Okay. So we go over to Naomi. Now, this scene was good. So Naomi's getting glammed out for the banquet because, that's her plan. And then she comes out and Mama looks good. She's got this black number on. She looking fierce. Hair bomb, face looking beat. Like, she looks great, right? Then, her glam squad are hyping her up as they should. And then they get a knock on the door. Well, who's at the door? Is the po-po. Is the police. They're coming to confiscate everything. And I mean everything. Now, she's like, I'm not leaving my house. You can't make me. And her glam squad is like, look, let's just step outside. Can you tell us what's going on? So then Franklin's lawyer comes in and he's like, we're taking everything, basically. It belongs to the new Mrs. Price. So she's like, so Naomi is going off. So apparently it was some items that she was supposed to turn in as a result of the divorce, and she decided not to turn it in, right? So they're taking her $1 million painting. They snatched the ring out of her hand. They take her earrings. I mean, they are stripping down. They are in the house just tearing it up, just trying to take the stuff, right? They repo her car. I mean, it is so humiliating, right? So of course Naomi, they just leave her basically with nothing. And so she leaves, she's upset. Now Duffy, who's the hairstylist, she calls Geneva. She tells Geneva what's going on. So we have Geneva is in the car, okay, with Lord, Javon and William. And William is just super excited to introduce Javon to Tiffany. Oh, she makes her own money. She's single. Just not even sensing the energy. So Geneva gets the call about Naomi from Duffy. And Geneva basically says she was told to give up the stuff in the divorce. She chose not to do it. So basically, Naomi, like, this is, you kind of brought this on yourself, okay? Because you were supposed to turn in those items and you didn't, right? Okay. So William is like, oh, Geneva's gonna put in a good word for you, aren't you, babe? And she's just like, I gotta take this phone call. This is very important. I gotta make a call. I'll make a call when we get to the church, right? Then you got Von old tired self. So he gets mistaken for a server because he has on that tired outfit that, Bridget told him not to wear. And he is just embarrassing Bridget. Talking about, oh, I need a drink. Where's the liquor at? Like, can we do away with Vaughn, please? Like, I'm annoyed. Bridget is clearly embarrassed by him. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, he doesn't work here. And Vaughn is like, well, why you didn't tell him that, I'm your man? Because, Negro, she's embarrassed by you. Are you crazy? Anyway, that scene, I didn't care too much for it. Whatever. So the people coming in, and it's a bunch of high rollers. They got these fancy cars, so they're coming to spend some money. Like, clearly, Rashida and Jefferson, they hang around some high rollers, right? So, but that's what they want. They want to get this money for this big church, right? Now, here's the thing: these girls just do not talk to each other. They're friends, but they are not transparent with each other. Because my thing is, I'll get back to that anyway. So all the girls meet to talk about Naomi because, Geneva got the call. They call Naomi. She's clearly sounds drunk. And that's my thing. Nobody was like, hey, have you been drinking? Are you driving? Like, what's up with that? Anyway, Naomi was like, oh, I really want to come, but I don't want to. And they're like, no. You stay. Because keep in mind, they still don't know if Franklin is coming to this banquet or not, right? So Geneva's like, I told you had to give those stuff back. And Naomi's like, what kind of lawyer are you? A lawyer that told you had to give the stuff back? Anyway, Naomi needs to get it together. So we got William, who is just, he just like, la, 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 la. William is living in la, la land. He just really, really want to introduce Javon to Tiffany. You got Vaughn over there. It was too many things happening in the scene. You got Vaughn over there embarrassing Bridget, talking about where the liquor at, cussing in front of the pastor. You got William and La La Land trying to hook Tiffany and Javon up. You got Geneva clearly bothered looking at Tiffany and Javon trying to figure out what's going on. She's like, oh, every time they laugh, she's like, what's so funny? She dropping things. Like, she is clearly bothered. And William, you don't see none of that? So, Geneva goes in the bathroom. She's having a panic attack. Rashida's trying to comfort her. Geneva tells Rashida about Anika. That may not be William. Now, I like how Rashida handled this, because Rashida was like, okay, you can't panic. We'll figure it out. Like, she's really trying to be supportive. So Bridget comes in, and Bridget tells Rashida that Franklin is coming. And Rashida's like, well, thank God, because Naomi's not coming. So they think crisis is averted, right? Now, Tiffany comes into the bathroom, and here's the thing that is really bothering me about Geneva. Geneva, if this is your girl, why are you not saying to Tiffany, girl, I got to tell you something. This is what happened with me and Javon 6 years ago. If this is your girl, if that is my girl, and I see that she is about to talk to a dude I used to talk to, I'm letting her know right away. Hey, girl, look, I know you like him, because Tiffany's like, I'm ready to get back out there. Why you been holding out on me? I like him. That is the time where they should have been like, okay, sis, pump your brakes. I know he fine. I know you excited, but we gotta tell you something. Why y'all just letting her? Clearly, Javon is using this girl. I think Javon is attracted to her, but he is clearly using Tiffany because he knows that it's getting to Geneva. So why didn't Rashida and Geneva say, okay, you know what, girl? Yeah, this one may not be the one. You know what I mean? And then here's another thing. Again, I feel like Bridget is being treated like the help because when Geneva got up to go to the bathroom and Rashida was following her and Bridget's like, oh, I'll come too. She's like, no, you sit. Like, I just really feel like I don't like how they're doing Bridget. I don't like it. So anyway, you got Bridget over there also treating Yvonne like a little boy. Like, keep your elbows off the table. Stop cussing. Like, ugh. Anyway, whatever. So here's my thing. Franklin and the new wife walk in, right? And everybody's like, dun, dun, dun. Okay, what's going on? What's happening with the, everybody's clearly panicked. So the new wife, the new Mrs. Price, they go up to the pastor and she's like, I didn't want to come. Is the dragon lady here? Now, here is where, because I'm a lover of friendships, here is where I said, I love Tiffany. I F with Tiffany in this scene. Rashida, now this is where Rashida forgets that she's first lady, okay? Because she walks up to the new Mrs. Price and she's like, oh, who are you talking about? Because she said, is the dragon lady here? As soon as Tiffany sees Rashida go to the new wife, the white girl, you could see, if you rewind, you could see Tiffany in the background. She's sitting at the table. She gets up from her seat and she is going to go back up Rashida. I said, that's the kind of friend I'm talking about. That Naomi is not even there and they got her back. I like that. You see what I'm saying? They're not about to smile in this new wife's face when they're clearly taunting her. So the new Mrs. Price says to Tiffany, well, who are you? She's like, oh, I'm her close friend. Like, who are you talking about? So Franklin's like, oh, don't mind them. And they go and sit at the table. So remember, in the previous scene, the police came and they took Naomi's earrings, right? They literally snatched it off her ear. The new wife is wearing the earring that they just took hours ago. So all the girls are signaling to each other. Like when you're with your girlfriends, you want them to see something, but you don't want nobody to know. Like, look at this chick over here, right? So they're playing with the ear. And then Franklin is like, oh, you like what you see? And Tiffany's like, yeah, I actually do. And so the new wife is like, oh, it's 10 carats. Can you believe it? And Tiffany's like, yeah, I can. They look better on a brown skin girl. Cool. I said, you know what? I didn't too much care for Tiffany's character, but I'm starting to change my mind. So she's like, excuse me? And Tiffany's like, color. Color makes them pop. You old non-melanated. Anyway, let's continue. So they clearly got Naomi's back, right? So Bridget walks up to Rashida and is like, we got a problem. And then you turn around and you see Naomi. So Naomi got a new dress. Now I like the old dress better, but whatever. She still looks good. Still wearing still a black dress. She walks in. She's clearly drunk. She's saying hi to people. She walks over to the table. She's like, I know y'all not talking to her. Now, Naomi, don't mess this up because they've had your back. They've been having your back. So anyway, she sit down on the table and can I tell y'all how much I love Lataria's Luckett's facial expressions because she clocked the armor bearer. I don't know his name yet. I forgot his name. Because he was sitting in Rashida's seat when Rashida left, and Rashida said to her, I had to rewind it a few times because I don't remember. I couldn't hear what she was saying, but I think she said, you been drinking my water? He's like, no, First Lady. So the armor bearer he's a little too enthused to be around Pastor. So remember, Rashida is first lady. Like she said, she sees everything. She clocks stuff. So I think she has that on her mental Rolodex. Like, I gotta watch this dude because he's just too excited to be around him. Anyway, so we got Naomi walks in and Naomi's like, I know y'all not talking to her, and that's where that ends. So let me say this, Geneva, you need to be a better friend. You are in crisis. And you got Tiffany, and you could literally save this girl from Javon, because I do think Javon is being manipulative, and you're not saying anything. Rashida, I like Rashida. She's clocking what's going on, but she got her own stuff. Bridget, what a shame. She literally has to babysit Vaughn. This is, she's under stress. She is trying to plan this banquet, and you got Vaughn who's just acting a plumb fool. Oh, and then Vaughn saw the old boss and was like, man, I quit. Like, whatever. Such a mess. You got Pastor whose main purpose is to keep Franklin happy because he wants money for that church, right? And then you got William who's living in La La Land, just happy that Javon and Tiffany got something in common because they got the same therapist or something like that. What a mess. But so far, so good. I'm excited for the next episode. Y'all don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next review. Bye.